High above the growing skyline of New York City in 1920, a police officer hangs from a steel girder, the streets sprawling like a concrete ocean far below. No harness, no safety net, just his hands and sheer determination standing between him and a fatal fall. Back then, workplace safety was a luxury, and courage often looked like recklessness. This photo isn't just an image. It's a snapshot of an era when men faced danger every day to build and protect the city of the future. Why risk it all? Was it duty, adrenaline, or simply the human drive to challenge the impossible? In 1895, deep in the arid lands of Mexico, nature revealed one of its most astonishing giants, a cactus so massive it could easily dwarf a man standing beneath it. This wasn't just a plant. It was a living monument, a survivor of centuries, thriving in one of the harshest environments on Earth. Imagine the stories this colossal cactus could tell: storms endured, suns risen and set, and civilizations passing by its silent watch. Today, this image stands as a breathtaking reminder of nature's resilience and grandeur, proof that the desert, too, holds its own wonders. In 1929, during the height of Prohibition in America, authorities confiscated thousands of barrels of alcohol, and this towering mountain of booze was the result. Imagine the sheer scale. Every one of these barrels, once promised a night of celebration, now stacked like a monument to a law that tried to change an entire nation's habits. This photo captures more than just a pile of liquor. It's a symbol of rebellion, desperation, and the unstoppable thirst for freedom during an era when a simple drink could turn you into a criminal. In 1931, the streets of Monte Carlo roared with the sound of engines as the Monaco Grand Prix delivered one of its most breathtaking moments. This photo freezes time, showing a Maserati surging ahead on a razor-thin waterfront track, with the Mediterranean sparkling just feet away and the crowd packed against the stone walls, hungry for speed. There were no guardrails, no safety zones. Just raw courage, roaring machines, and the thrill of pushing limits in an era when every turn could be your last. This wasn't just racing, it was danger dressed as glamour. In 1920, a young woman named Gabrielle Coco Chanel was redefining what it meant to be free. This photo captures the piercing gaze of a fashion revolutionary, a woman who dared to break every rule of her time. She stripped away the suffocating corsets, introduced comfort as elegance, and turned simplicity into the ultimate form of sophistication. Chanel didn't just create clothes. She created an identity, a lifestyle, a statement that women could own their power without apology. This is the face of rebellion, style, and independence. This is Coco Chanel before she became an icon. Step back to 1895, aboard a New York ferry where life moved at a different pace. Men in bowler hats and women in extravagant feathered hats sit quietly, absorbed in their newspapers, as sunlight streams through the large windows. There are no smartphones, no buzzing notifications, just the hum of conversation and the rhythmic splash of water outside. This image is more than a glimpse of public transport. It's a time capsule, capturing an era of elegance, composure, and the daily rituals of a city on the rise. In the roaring 1920s, fashion wasn't just about flapper dresses and jazz. It was about bold, playful statements like this. Women began painting faces on their knees, turning them into mini canvases for fun and flirtation. With skirts getting shorter and social norms being challenged, this quirky trend became a symbol of rebellion and liberation. It wasn't just a style, it was a cheeky way to say, we make our own rules. Imagine walking into a party and stealing the show without saying a word, just by crossing your legs. Step back to 1896 and witness the elegance of the legendary Monte Carlo casino. This was more than just a gambling hall. It was a palace of opulence where Europe's elite gathered to flaunt wealth, fashion, and power. Imagine the whispers of high-stakes games, the clinking of champagne glasses, and fortunes made or lost in a single night. This building wasn't just architecture. It was the heartbeat of luxury in the Belle Époque era, a world where glamour and risk danced hand in hand. Paris, 1916. In the middle of World War I's chaos, three figures sit at La Rotonde Café: Moïse Kisling, Paqueret, and a young Pablo Picasso. This wasn't just a cafe. It was the beating heart of the avant-garde, where art, rebellion, and ideas collided over glasses of wine. Imagine Picasso, not yet the global legend, sketching on a napkin while conversations about love, politics, and a new artistic revolution filled the air. This photo isn't just a snapshot. It's a doorway into a world where creativity defied the darkness of war. New York City, 1912. Fifth Avenue came to a halt as proud Olympic athletes marched through the heart of Manhattan, cheered on by thousands. It was a moment of unity, celebration, and national pride, before the age of global media, before televised broadcasts, when heroes of sport were honored by the roar of real crowds, not digital likes. This black and white photograph captures a golden slice of time when the American dream marched alongside its champions, each step echoing with ambition, sacrifice, and glory that would inspire generations to come. Paris, 1900. Beneath the bustling boulevards of the City of Light, men toiled in the shadows to create something revolutionary: the Paris Metro. This photograph captures the raw intensity of that vision: muddy boots, steel beams, and faces hardened by labor, building a network that would forever change urban life. It was a time of innovation and ambition, when progress demanded sweat and risk, and every shovel of earth carved a path toward modernity. Little did they know, their work would become the veins of a city that never sleeps, carrying millions into the future. New York, 1944. In the middle of a world at war, Salvador Dali retreats into one of the most unexpected places for inspiration: a bathtub. Surrounded by surreal sketches and fragments of his genius, the eccentric master contemplates his next dreamlike vision. This image captures Dali at his core, defying convention, bending reality, and turning even the simplest setting into a stage for creativity. For Dali, art wasn't just on the canvas. It was in every corner of life, even in porcelain. In 1913, two brothers, Louis and Temple Abernathy, became living legends. At just 9 and 11 years old, they rode this very Indian motorcycle across the entire United States, completely alone. No GPS, no cell phones, no safety gear, just raw courage and a dream bigger than the Wild West. They battled storms, breakdowns, and endless dirt roads, proving that fearlessness has no age limit. This photo isn't just history. It's the face of true American grit. In 1928, at just 16 years old, Betty Robinson shocked the world and made history. She wasn't a professional athlete. She was discovered by chance, running to catch a train. That raw speed took her to the Olympic Games, where she became the first woman ever to win an Olympic gold medal in track and field. This photo captures her fearless spirit, a young woman breaking barriers in a world where many believed women didn't belong in sports. Betty didn't just run, she ran into history. During World War I, innovation took some wild turns, like this bizarre invention: a motorcycle fitted with skis for the front and a track-like wheel on the back, designed to cut through snow-covered battlefields. Soldiers needed speed, even in the harshest winters, and this hybrid machine was their answer. It looks strange now, but back then, it was cutting-edge technology for survival in extreme conditions. In the 1930s, the streets of New York saw scenes like this: rows of proud NYPD officers standing beside their Harley-Davidson motorcycles, ready to patrol the city. These bikes weren't just transportation. They were a symbol of power, speed, and authority during an era when the city was battling organized crime and enforcing prohibition. This image captures the grit and discipline of law enforcement at a time when the streets of New York were as wild as ever. On July 4, 1911, the small town of Moscow, Idaho, celebrated Independence Day with a race you won't see today, the famous Fat Men's Race. Picture it, two determined men sprinting down the main street, cheered on by a crowd dressed in their Sunday best, flags waving above, and a dusty road echoing the laughter of the early 1900s. It wasn't about speed. It was about pride, humor, and a sense of community that defined small-town America over a century ago. In the 1950s, the powerful voice of Lola Beltran echoed through Mexico, redefining the sound of mariachi and becoming an icon of Mexican culture. This photograph captures her in her element, dressed in traditional attire, surrounded by mariachi musicians who helped carry her songs to legendary status. Known as the Queen of Ranchera music, Lola didn't just sing. She told the story of a nation, a voice of pride and passion that still resonates decades later. In 1943, creativity wasn't just for artists. It was for anyone with a camera and a playful imagination. This photo is a perfect example of old-school perspective tricks, long before Photoshop existed. Three friends on a sunny day at the beach created an optical illusion that makes it look like two women are standing in the palm of another's hand. Back then, photography was about patience, timing, and clever ideas like this one. A glimpse into a time when fun was simple and creativity knew no filters.